We're gonna do an audio test, so everyone talk like you're gonna talk in the video. Sit on his throne. Can you say your bias? That is worse than your bark. Wait, no, wait. It goes doot, doot. Are you cock on the walk?
Cock on the walk.
When you're walking alone.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the most exciting episode of Two Gay Mats that will exist probably ever. It's Matt Steele.
It's Matt Palmer.
And in case you can't tell, we have a very special guest with us. This is one of my best friends in the entire world, Lauren, and she went to musical theater school with me at NYU, and she is a Cats aficionado, a Cats expert,
yeah.
Everything to do with Cats the musical, and not the real animal.
No, like, not so much. I mean, I have cats. I'm actually allergic to cats.
Okay.
Wait, you have cats, but you're allergic to them?
Yeah, I do allergy shots.
Oh,
yeah.
You must love these cats.
I love my fiance.
Oh, yes, that's very kind of you. I'd be like, those cats have got to go.
The reason why this video is so exciting is because I and you have been talking about this movie since the trailer came out in what, July?
Yes, one of our earliest podcast episodes were about this trailer.
Yes.
And I said, this is going to flop, that people won't see this.
And I said it was going to be the cultural event of the year, and both of us were right. I'm so sorry that this is coming at you like 2 weeks after the fact, after Cats opened and everything happened.
But we had to travel. We were going home, we were visiting family. What can you do?
Yeah, so you're getting this video a little late, but
Better
whatever.
late than never.
I mean, I saw it opening night. Everyone was lining up for Star Wars, and my best friend from high school and I were definitely seeing Cats. There were two guys next to us who were very angry at Melissa and I.
Wait,
because
why?
we were having reactions to what we were seeing. And we were just reacting. Things were funny, things were bad.
Right.
We had moments, we had feelings.
Right.
And they were not having any feelings.
If Cats is nothing if not feelings. You've loved Cats since you were a little girl.
Yeah, like probably since I was 3.
So you love...
I grew up with Cats, the musical.
So did you love the plot of the show or the songs? Like what, just from someone who hated every moment that they saw on screen, what is there to love about this abomination that was infected
about this work? This piece.
Which was originally the longest running Broadway musical before others.
7,000 something performances from 1983 to 2002-ish.
I mean, it's actually a cultural phenomenon.
I know it is very well, it has been very successful, but I never understood it, which is why I'm glad you're here, because maybe you can explain it to me, because the movie pushed me further in the other direction.
Have you ever seen the stage production?
No, this was my first time experiencing Cats at all.
So it's okay. I would never recommend to start with this movie to understand what Cats is. I mean, it's already kind of polarizing. I feel very polarized by this movie, and I love the musical.
Because this movie was Cats on steroids, on lots of drugs. It was on something. Cats on something.
And Cats is already on something.
And again, I don't mean to rain on the Cats parade. I love that you both
rain on it, baby.
It's okay.
I've never been more upset by anything I've experienced. As I was leaving the theater, I was truly like, I want to pop my eyeballs out. I feel like I've been violent. It's truly the most horrific. I'm telling you, you can ask my boyfriend who I saw it with. It ruined my night.
See, what I loved about it was that it would bounce back and forth between so unfathomably, horrendously insane to like, wait, am I actually moved?
Yes.
I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I feel like I remember every single solitary second, every single solitary shot. It's just ingrained in my memory. I knew it was going to be crazy. I had no idea it was going to be that crazy. Like, it exceeded my expectations, I have to say. What were the most shocking elements of this movie to you?
Everything that Rebel Wilson did, I found horrifying. Yeah. You said you liked this person's performance. I thought Ian McKellen was disgusting.
No.
He was really
so upsetting.
Really leaning into like the cat of it all, and it made my blood boil.
But weren't you like moved by his performance?
No.
Like I had tears.
Me too.
I was about to cry.
Yes.
Yes.
He was essentially licking his hands and.
Well, he's a cat.
Why watching this? Like, why is this happening? I think the uncanny valley of the CGI affected me much more than it affected Matt Steele.
I had no problem.
It was very much like stomach turning the visuals.
I love the fact that they looked so much like humans because it really showed like this isn't just about cats. This is a ballet. This is a an interpretation of cats through human movement. And so that's what I feel like they could have easily made this a cartoon where they just kind of made them look like cats, but there was still that artistic integrity to it that made you go, oh yes, this is a stage show, and I appreciate that about the movie. Were there any parts where you were like, you know what, this isn't the worst?
I thought,
like, if you had to pick a favorite.
I thought the gray cat, whose name I didn't get.
Monkus Strap.
Also, anytime a name was said, I was just like,
well, the naming of cats
is a difficult matter. It isn't just one of your holiday games. You may think at first I'm as mad as a hatter when I tell you a cat must have 3 different names.
yeah.
First there's the name.
So what were your favorite parts of the movie?
There are so many. The first 40 minutes are just so insane, and you're trying to wrap your head around everything that's going on. It gets real dark for a little while. And then I have to say, when Judi Dench made her entrance and they were singing the song Old Deuteronomy, which I think is a stunning song, everything slowed down and we were able to breathe. There were more wide shots. You could see the bigger picture. It felt like they were going through something, and I was like, this is actually quite lovely. I'm actually moved by what's going on. They have this reverence towards this old cat, and it's Judi Dench wearing a giant cat coat made out of cat skin. I don't know, I don't want to know. Then they go into the Jellicle Ball, and they dance the Jellicle Ball, and I thought that was a wonderfully done moment. The Jellicle Ball dance, I thought it was excellent. I was like, okay, we're in it, we're in it, we're in it. Ian McKellen, I thought his performance was excellent. Honestly, like, out of all the supporting actor performances I've seen in a movie this year, the one that I was the most moved by, I think he was wonderful. I get it, he meowed a couple times and he licked some milk out of the bowl, I get it. But he made Judi Dench lift her leg.
I know, I was just gonna say the leg. Also, I had to show off my cat leggings.
Showing off her cat leggings. You know, that was like an improvised
You're very much on theme.
That was her real leg going out.
Wait, that was Judi Dench did
that was Judi Dench's leg.
She just did that.
That was not a CGI leg. No, that wasn't direction. She just did it. Ha. My favorite part of the movie, though, was Skimble fucking Shanks. What a great number. Wonderfully performed by the whole ensemble when he was tapping along the rail and then it turned into the train tracks. I had chills. I have chills just thinking about it. You know I love nothing more than a scene change in a movie that's happening in front of your eyes. Like you're on a stage. I loved that number so much. And then the movie took a turn for the worse. And then at the end, Judi Dench just looks you deep in the eye into the camera and it just feels like you're being euthanized. What were your things you didn't like and what were things you didn't like as the cat's expert?
Yeah.
Okay, well, going back to what is a Jellicle Cat, first of all. So that is from the T.S. Eliot poems, where now, and I forgot specifically if it was him or one of his kids or something, but when they said, "Dear little cat," in a British accent, it sounded like Jellicle. So instead of dear little, it was Jellicle. Because, well, in his writing, a lot of times he'll make up words that sound like other words. That's very typical T.S. Eliot.
And that is why at the end of the movie, they added the line Judi Dench saying, "You are now a Jellicle cat. Dear little cat." It's sort of like a nod to that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was sweet.
So that was a favorite moment. Something I really didn't like. Now I love Judi Dench, and I love her in this part, and I love the gender bending of the casting. Old Deuteronomy is usually played by a man.
Okay.
However, in this particular situation, I think it really wasn't helpful in terms of the comment that cats can make about sexism and classism. When you look at all of the cats in the show, they're mostly all men.
Yeah.
The women cats are singing about men. So particularly in the Gus the Theater Cat song that Ian McKellen sang himself, usually a female cat sings that about him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only really star female cat singing about herself is Jenny Anydots, who also shares it with Monkus Strap. And she's very domestic. But so the thing is with Grisabella, they hate her because she's old, and she used to be this glamour cat and now she's kind of gross, and they're like, well, she's a woman who got old and so we're over it. And Judi Dench is revered as this older cat, And so they kind of had to, I think, like reconcile that. And so they're like, oh, she went with McCavity. And then thus, again, blaming a man or a male cat for disrupting her essence, I guess.
This is going deep.
Yeah, well, I think a lot about cats. And so,
well, I remember because you said to me once, you were just like, I don't know how I feel about Judi Dench playing Old Deuteronomy because it goes against the whole notion that like they hate Grisabella for getting old, but they love Old Deuteronomy for being old because why? Is it because he's a man?
Yeah. Like the sage cat, the sage male cat, and they're like, oh, and they blame McCavity for her issues, which that's not in the musical at all.
They imply that she had this sordid past with this with McCavity,
which is kind of what like Taylor Swift's character is like on that bad path too, to become like the new Grisabella if she doesn't like fix her act sooner.
That's so
rather later.
sad.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that poor Bumblerina.
Bumballerina.
Bumballerina. Sorry. I know you also had an issue with the it wasn't a tire that she went up to the head.
Oh, okay. This is Cats, not Phantom of the Opera. They are both written by Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber. One of them has a chandelier, the other has a tire. And I do not like that they put her in a chandelier
with a hot air balloon?
Yeah.
To go up to the heavy star. Oh, and that's the other really big major flaw in this is that
one of the few major flaws.
No, but major, I mean, it's in the text.
Yeah.
They're singing up, up, up past the Russell Hotel. Okay, the Russell Hotel is a real place in London, particularly in the 80s when this was written. It is now the Kimpton. It was the Russell Hotel in Russell Square, which is a mile away from Trafalgar Square, which is where they filmed all this.
Okay.
So they're not anywhere near the Russell Hotel, or what was once the Russell Hotel. They're in Trafalgar Square by the National Portrait Gallery, and that made no sense to me.
And didn't you have a problem with the ending as well?
When she flies away in the balloon to the Heaviside Lair, it's the emotional climax of the movie. The fact that they had Idris Elba have this comedic bit where he jumps on the rope and tries to get up
I think I blocked that out.
So inappropriate, and I was just like, no. I was very worried that like there would be too much like cutesy dialogue, which like there was more than I wanted.
There should be no dialogue.
There should be no dialogue. First, they should not have added dialogue.
Except for when Rum Tum Tugger says the only line in the entire show, and he comes in is like, okay, we're gonna get Mr. Mistopheles.
Yes.
You should ask Mr. Mistopheles. Well, but he has this whole little speech.
Yes.
And that is the spoken word.
And that's Jason Derulo?
Yeah.
Okay.
He missed the boat. Yeah, I mean, that was not okay. I also really didn't like how Mr. Mistopheles was portrayed because he is the magic cat, the showman cat, and this whole journey of like, oh, I'm shy and I don't really know what I'm doing, and but I kind of have a crush on Victoria, but I don't know, and let me try my magic. No. He is not supposed to be present anywhere during the entire thing because he's magic, and then when they need him, they call him. He comes down from the ceiling on a spinning disco ball with his light up jacket, sings the song, and makes all this stuff happen.
So essentially, like, you feel like they just added too much to try to give it some semblance of a plot.
But it has a plot.
Let's try to give it some semblance of a
stereotypical plot that other people would understand.
Yes, a plot that the general public can swallow easily.
That makes sense.
Okay,
like, I just feel
it makes sense if you just go with it.
You just have to go with, like, especially in the beginning when they were saying, they're like, how do they choose the cat to be reborn into the new Jellicle life? They're like, oh, and they're each going to sing a song and compete. And I'm like, is this American Idol?
Yeah,
this is not
whole
American Idol.
This is a competition thing. It's like, no, that makes it feel so kitschy and like.
Is it not a competition?
And they literally were like,
no.
They all just talk and they introduce themselves, and it's not really competition. It's more or less so we get to know who they are, so that old Uriah can make the choice. So then there's this moment when Victoria comes up to Jennifer Hudson and it was like, sing your song, and it's like that's not how that works. She's not competing. She's not like now singing her song in the competition.
She's singing it because she feels compelled to sing it. Another thing that drove me nuts about the movie, the sounds. When they're singing as a group in the movie and they would cut to different cats, with each cut, you would hear each individual cat. It would just sound so disjointed and sound so chaotic because you would hear this voice and then suddenly this voice and then suddenly this voice. And it's like, no, they're singing as an ensemble. Because then it distracted from the song and I couldn't hear the song and I couldn't hear the ensemble. And the ensemble singing is so good in Cats and I wanted to hear it. There was a lot happening and I felt like the more simplistic moments worked better.
Agreed.
Like there were some times where it's like we're in a dumpster and then we're eating fish and then things explode and then I'm flying and like it was a lot happening so quickly. And Cats is already visually stimulating enough.
My main question, well, I have several questions. Jennifer Hudson crying via nasal drip throughout the entire performance of Memory, did that bother you?
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It's a lot.
I loved it. I actually loved
Did
it.
you?
I really loved the way she did it. And vocally, when she was soft and then when she really gave it and belted, I don't know. I loved her performance.
I thought she sang well. Yeah. I think just the mucus I didn't need.
To me, it was more so. I wish they pulled out from her a little more. I wish it was. I just wish there was more wide.
Her whole look was.
I also did. I guess maybe I should preface this. I did have 3 martinis before I saw it.
Good.
So that's kind of where I was. But I was really with her in that moment.
My question for you both. Do you think even though Cats is this worldwide phenomenon as a musical, is there a way to make this movie and make it good?
Yes.
I disagree. I think this is a movie that should have never been made.
No.
People dressed in cat costumes, sexily slinking around, introducing themselves as Rum Tum Tugger and Cymbal Shanks.
But see,
give me a fucking break. I feel like there wasn't enough respect paid to people who have never seen this show. Like there is no. Like it just starts right in. It's like Jellicle Cat, and it's like, what the fuck are we talking about? You're not entered into the world in any way that makes sense.
But that's where the poem comes in. I mean, I forgot. Did they do it? There's their man over there with a look of surprise. Okay, so that's the whole thing. See, you're supposed to be slammed in. You're like, what is going on? There are these human cats, and they're singing, and then everyone's like, okay, end of the first number, okay, and then Munkastrap goes, did you see that man over there? Then they say, has he never heard of a Jellicle Cat? And then what's a Jellicle Cat? And then they go into the whole thing.
Jellicle, and then it becomes like kind of scary.
What's a Jellicle? Yeah, and so like they skipped all of that, and so I think we really lost something there.
Whether you love cats or hate cats, you cannot deny the discourse surrounding cats the past several months, but especially the last 2 weeks, has just been nothing short of thrilling. The videos, seeing the people go to theaters like drunk, singing along with the songs. The reason why I love Cats so much is because like even I don't know how I feel about it. Like with this whole movie situation, I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I love it because I'm trolling it. I don't know. Like I don't know. I genuinely don't know. All I know is it made me so happy. Skimbleshanks just made me so happy. And all the bad parts, all the good parts, I was happy. And I mean, the show is a classic. It's been in the ether. It's been in my ether for my entire life, so I didn't have any questions.
But you won't even go see it with me when I try to get you to the live show.
Oh, well, I'm not going to spend $75 or whatever to see it. I have
every
AMC
time the tour
pass.
comes through, I'm like, let's see Cats.
And I'm just like, can we get cheap standing room seats? But like, I turn on that cast recording and it's a lot of fun. And I didn't really like Cats when I was little. I was always like, oh, this musical's dumb. But now that I'm older and I can enjoy the fact that it embraces itself so much, it doesn't apologize for itself at all. I'm just like, yeah,
I
Cats.
would love an apology from the show. I would love for it to apologize to me.
You could literally write a dissertation on this movie alone, I feel. Just like of all opinion. Because the great thing I loved about it was like whatever your opinion was, every single solitary frame of that film, you had an opinion
talk about it.
You could talk about it and be like, what? I love this, I hate this, what? And that is cinema.
Jesus Christ.
I have so many knee-jerk reactions. Like I'd be watching it and I was like, yes, and I'd be like, no, and I'd be like, yes, this is it, and I'm like, no, and so I just that to watch something that made me feel so many things and being pulled back and forth throughout. However long that was. However long I was there, I was on this constant roller coaster.
Yes.
And I haven't really seen a piece of cinema that has actually engaged me that much and that viscerally.
Yeah, it hits you hard.
Yeah.
It is visceral, we can agree. It's a visceral
It's a visceral experience.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that it's affecting to people who have known the show in the past. As an outsider, I wish I had remained outside. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people about Cats, about your film experience, about the movie itself?
Just that
I have more.
it was Cats.
It was Well, guys, thank you for watching.
This video was a long time coming.
It really was.
I loved it.
This is the best way to begin the new year.
I'm excited to put this to bed. And but also you should make sure, if you like our videos, make sure to listen to our podcast. It's available on iTunes, Spotify, new episodes every Monday. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matt Palmer Music.
And it's Matt Steele.
And Lauren, where can we follow you?
Much Ado About Lauren.
Oh, is that on Twitter and Instagram?
That's on Instagram, and I think actually on Twitter, because I don't think it can be as long. I'm Much Ado About LAS.
All right, so make sure to follow Lauren. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me for this.
Lending your expertise.
It was so much fun.
Adam Parnell, we love you. I'm sorry you had to watch Cats. And we'll be back next week with another brand new 2K Max.
Bye.
Bye.